About Jose Fernandez not too long ago, about his second act. Now, really, there have been a lot of players who have defected from Cuba, but what made Fernandez's story so unique?
Yeah, you know, Maggie, I visited Jose in 2014, and this was soon after his spectacular rookie season. And, you know, it was clear from the very beginning almost that this was a transcendent star in Major League Baseball. And that was what was kind of unique, that it was really about the future with Jose Fernandez because of his talent, but because of the way he played the game. And he brought this exuberance and joy to this sport and this league that really honestly is desperately in need of all of that. And that's really what's so heartbreaking at the end of the day, is that he was the future of baseball, and it's just very sad that he's no longer with us.
Ben, how bright was that future for Fernandez?
Well, I asked that question to a Marlins executive I spoke with late last night. Obviously, it's an incredibly difficult day for the whole organization, and they were all grieving. But I asked if you could turn for a second, as hard as it is, towards looking towards his future, what would that be? And the Marlins official said, well, all you have to do is look at the last start, which is the last start he ever made 5 days before he died, against the Washington Nationals. The Marlins said they believed this was the best start that he had ever made. 8 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 3 hits allowed, no walks against a very good hitting team. They said not only did he show his old stuff, but they thought in that outing he showed a new maturity. They didn't want to take away his exuberance, but they thought that he was in command of his emotions in the game, unlike they'd ever seen him before. That would be the last start that Jose Fernandez would ever make.
So sad. Albert, you got really to know about his work ethic and about what made Jose Fernandez, the baseball player, just so good.
Yeah, I mean, his talent was obvious to everyone from the very beginning. And we know about his harrowing story of sacrifice coming from Cuba to the U.S., spending some time with him and the people who know him best in Tampa, where he's from and where he went to high school. I mean, this guy worked incredibly hard to get to where he was at. And, you know, I just remember this story of the principal and school administrators telling me just a few days before I arrived in Tampa that he had this trip that he had to be in Miami for a team event very early in the morning on just this random weekday in January. But it was so important to him to get his work in that he wanted this administrator to meet him at the field to let him in at 3 in the morning so he could get his 3-hour workout in, and so he could meet his coach and get his work in. And you know, I think that's what people lose here, is that it looks so easy to Jose Fernandez, but this guy worked really as hard as anybody, and that's what makes it so heartbreaking.